Hi all and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be going over lower body explosiveness. Now if you watch the golf on TV you will see many of the best players in the world and how well they interact with the ground. So the likes of Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, Lexi Thompson, they're actually off the feet almost at impact because of how hard they've driven through the floor. Now this is something that most regular club golfers simply don't do. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 exercises to help you increase your explosiveness through that lower body. Let's get stuck in. So our first exercise is going to be our single leg hops. Now these are a super simple way to help us develop some explosiveness through each individual leg, as well as working on stability and control as we land. All we need is our body weight. So I'm going to be on one foot. I'm going to use a little bit of arm swing to help me. And I'm going to try and take off from this foot and land back down on it. So I'm hopping into the air, landing down nice and softly, nice and controlled. So you can see my arms start out in front. They swing down to help me load into this lead leg, and I can also use a little bit of arm swing as well to help me cushion the landing. So as we land, what we don't want to do, we don't want to land really hard and with the leg dead straight. We also don't want to land too deep. So we want to land with a little bit of knee softness, kind of nice, quiet, soft landings. Also, obviously, we're looking for, can we stick the landing? So we don't want to be landing with the foot hopping all over the place. So we're trying to land nice, soft, quiet landings. Now, once you get good at establishing some reasonable landings and getting the coordination of hopping, what we can start to do is obviously work on increasing the height. So if I hop higher into the air, I've obviously applied more force down into the floor. So I can start to work on incorporating some higher hops, still making sure I'm landing in that soft athletic position. Once someone gets pretty good at that, what I then like to do is maybe incorporate a target to hop over. So I've just got kind of a pad here that I'm going to hop over for this video. You can use any object, just ensure that it's a soft object. So if you do catch it, you're not going to injure yourself. So something soft, just as a little bit of a target to hop over and then stick the landing. So I'm on one side, I'm going to hop up and over and then try and stick the landing as best as I can. So I'm working on that vertical force and then trying to stick the landing as best as possible. Now this is quite difficult. You're probably not going to stick every landing absolutely perfectly, but you're just trying to work through some single leg explosiveness and then that stability and control on landing. Now obviously we do this on both sides, and actually your lead foot is arguably more important. So as a right-handed golfer, your left foot, left leg, would be the side that I'd almost like you to be slightly better at. So as we use the ground in our golf swing, a lot of those ground force reactions actually occur through our lead side. Yet most people are quite trail side dominant. So this kind of single leg hop can actually reveal quite a lot of information and potentially give us something to really focus on and work on. We'd keep the reps pretty low, so a couple of sets of around 5 hops on each side. So really focusing on quality over quantity and ensuring some good landings each time. So our second exercise is going to be our seated squat jump. Now this is a bilateral or 2-footed jump, but it's a really effective way to get us to start using the ground quickly. So obviously in the golf swing, we don't get a huge amount of time to generate our force. And in this move in particular, we're going to be trying to get on and off the floor as fast as possible. So start seated, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my feet up off the floor a little bit, and then I'm going to push them down into the ground as aggressively as I can to help launch me into the air. So again, I can use a little bit of arm swing. So I'm up, I'm pushing down, and then I'm trying to land nice and soft. So I'm really trying to be as efficient as I can on this first bit. So it's almost like an aggressive stomp and then stick a nice soft landing. So what we don't want to see here is we don't want to spend too much time on the ground. So we're not looking for something like that. That's obviously a lot of time on the ground, quite slow. We're looking for that kind of explosive on and off the ground as fast as we can. So we kind of want an aggressive stomp, get in and out of the floor as quickly as possible. And then when we come to the landings, again, we're looking for those same landing mechanics. So we don't want to be landing bolt upright, legs straight, nice hard landing. That is not what we want. We also don't want to be landing super deep, lots of knee bend down with the hips. So we want that kind of quiet, soft landing, little bit of knee softness, hips back, nice and athletic. So seated position, we're going to lift up, we're going to stomp, be fast on the floor, and then stick that nice soft landing. And what that will really help us with is starting to use the ground quickly, which is what we need a little bit more in our golf swing. So again, quality over quantity, couple of sets, 5 reps, making sure we rest appropriately between sets and really trying to get in and out of the ground as quickly as we can and then stick that soft, quiet landing each time. Just a quick reminder before we get into our final exercise that if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button as it really does help the channel out. And if there's any golf fitness topics you want me to cover in future videos, leave a comment below and let me know. So our final move is going to be our 90-degree rotational jump, which is a great way to help us start to take some of this lower body explosive power into a slightly more golf-specific pattern. So I'm going to demonstrate this as a right-handed golfer, so my left foot is going to be my lead leg. So this is kind of my dominant pattern. So I'm going to assume a driver-like stance through my feet. As I load this time, I'm actually going to load from kind of left to right a little bit. So as I load down, you can see my arms swing from kind of left foot across to the right side. So as I'm loading, I'm also getting a little bit of kind of rotation into my load. And then as I explode, I'm going to come up and end up turning 90 degrees and landing facing that way. So I'll give you a couple of demonstrations. So I'm here, I load, and then I explode. So as I'm doing this, I'm really trying to push out of this lead leg in particular, 90-degree rotation, landing nice and soft. So this here obviously is starting to look at the kind of lower body ground forces in a slightly more kind of specific way to how you might move in the golf swing, obviously with that kind of push and drive out of that lead leg to help you clear that left hip or lead hip. So I'm loading, I'm exploding, and then I'm rotating. Now, as we're doing this, again, landings are really crucial. So we don't want to be landing bolt upright, legs straight. It's going to put a lot of pressure through the body. We also don't want to be landing deep into that squat position. Now the landings on this one can be a little bit trickier because obviously there's a little bit more going on. We've not just got up and down motion, we've got a little bit of travel this way, we've also got rotation involved. So landings can be a little bit trickier to start with. So start with nice small motions. Again, get those landings good first before you start to progress. Now, how we'd progress that is we just try and jump a little bit higher. So we'd really try and get out of this lead foot, up and rotate. So that's obviously going to be a really good motion for that lead leg and kind of feeling what we want to feel in the golf swing, but we would do it both sides. So again, similar to the other two movements, we'd be looking for quality over quantity. So around 3 to 5 reps on both sides, a couple of sets on each side, resting appropriately and really making sure we stick those soft athletic landings. So there we have it, 3 super simple moves you can do from home to start improving your lower body explosiveness. Now, just because you start doing these movements doesn't mean you're going to start using the ground like Rory, like JT, like Lexi in your golf swing. Okay, we all know obviously the golf swing is its own animal, but if we can provide our body with a nice kind of strong, explosive, stable lower body, it's going to be more inclined to maybe use it a little bit more in our golf swing, so it certainly can help. If you found this video useful, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and if there's any questions, just put them below.